Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Ben. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal, do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. So Ben wanted me to do a commentary on the Salton Sea, which I think I saw once. I remember not minding it, but to be honest, I don't remember a thing about it, so this is going to kind of be like a first time viewing in a way. I'm assuming Ben requested this because Val Kilmer passed away, so excuse if there's moments of silence where I'm listening to the dialogue or stuff, because it's not one of those movies that I remember by heart and can talk through it. So apologies if there's moments of silence, but I'll pause at the beginning. And if anyone wants to request any type of videos, PayPal, Cash App are the best ways to do it. Links are down below in the info box. And let's get into it. I'll pause at the beginning for those who want to follow along. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. So we have Warner Brothers. Again, this is going to be like a first time, because like I said, I know I've seen this once before, but it's been so long I do not remember it. I think Val Kilmer, you find out his character's like undercover cop or something, but yeah, he's undercover as like a drug user or something. Vincent D'Onofrio is a character who sums up with his nose because of drugs. And Val plays a trumpet. I remember that image. Isn't like he's playing a trumpet and there's fire? Yep, there you go. What I say. He's playing a trumpet, there's fire. There's a guy that I've seen on YouTube from time to time, a guy named Nerdrotic. I know he likes this film because he used to be a drug addict, and there's some stuff in this he can relate to. Very good looking shot. Like that's actual fire in the back there. Very artistic shot. And definitely with the music, trying to have a bit of a noir flavor to it. Although I'm damn stupid tell you, I wouldn't be just sitting there with a fucking fire around me. I'd be going out the nearest window. Like, can you play the trumpet outside, away from the fire? Well, maybe you can't get out. Well, I mean, I was sure as hell fucking try. The guy's so tweaked he probably think he could survive this without a scratch. So showing a bit of history on meth, which that's interesting. If this is all true, I didn't know it had anything to do with the Japanese in World War II, but that's a hell of a big kitchen. And was that truck driver from Resident Evil 2? Jesus. It was a shitload of cold medicine, goddamn. Like you're Breaking Bad over here. Damn. Good fire stunt. Good explosion, too. Done practically for real. Very good fire stunt. And that's a hell of an explosion. Very well directed. I think the guy who directed this would go on to direct Disturbia, which I remember liking with Shia LaBeouf. But yeah, that's definitely a very solid fire gag, stunt gag. I don't think anyone cares, lady, about your damn sock drawer or whatever the fuck it is. Okay, this guy looks familiar. I can't remember his damn name. The guy on the right, I have seen him in other movies, though. I know I have. I think that's Val. Interesting tattoos there on the back. Should look up the cast. Maybe I will look that up. I don't know if pissing on one would help if someone's on fire, but I mean, I guess it'd be worth a try. Thankfully, never got into drugs myself of any sort. I'd just be too paranoid. Like something being in your nose like that, all that jazz. Be just way too paranoid. So I like the idea they're against sunlight as if they were vampires because they're so used to being inside. That's a really nice shot of the city. Overlooking the whole city. That's a really nice looking shot. This guy was really out of his fucking mind. What the hell is that gun on the wall? Like a damn tape. So the guy on the right of Val Kilmer, that's Peter Sarsgaard as Jimmy. And I knew I recognized him because he was in Jarhead He was the bad guy in Flight Plan. He was in Green Lantern as a guy who's the son of Tim Robbins, who got affected and tried to fight Green Lantern. And he's been in a lot of stuff, Peter Sarsgaard. Yeah, Flight Plan, Jarhead, Green Lantern. Now this guy here tweeting out what the where the fuck that gun is. That's Glenn Plummer. I recognize him. He was the guy in Speed in the car Keanu Reeves steals. Are you insured? Yeah, and then breaks the car. And then Keanu jumps from the car to the bus. He's the guy the car Keanu took. He was also in Showgirls. He was the guy that the lead, Elizabeth Berkley, had a bit of infatuation, a little bit of romance with, and then they separate by the end. Has a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. It cost $18 million and only made $1.1 million. And the guy earlier that I said I recognized when we were in the Tweeter house, that was Adam Goldberg. The one with the facial hair or the beard. And he was in The Prophecy. He was in Saving Private Ryan as Private Mellish. He was in Stay Alive, that movie. Deja Vu with Denzel Washington. And yeah, the director DJ Caruso, he did Triple S, The Return of Xander Cage. I forgot. Yeah, that guy there with the shirt off, that's Adam Goldberg. Yeah, DJ Caruso did I Am Number 4, Triple S Return of Xander Cage, Disturbia. So. Yeah, the guy playing the guitar, that's Adam Goldberg. He was in Saving Private Ryan. I guess I should be thankful I never got into the drug scene. Like, yeah, I'd just be too paranoid, like stuff in my nose and stuff like that. And granted, I mean, there's a lot more serious implications of that, but just to me, it's like, I don't want anything near my nose. Just look at the pictures in the back. Got a guy with the American flag. We got interesting haircut they have for Val Kilmer too. Kind of like a, not quite a mohawk, but close to it. It definitely has a little bit of like a punk vibe to it. I'd be like, why you fucking spilling this shit? I mean, maybe that's just how people like getting meth. I like all the rings on his hand too. Nice little touch on that. Is that Anthony LaPaglia from So I Married an Axe Murderer? I think it is. Oh, the other guy. No wonder he looked familiar. That guy there, Doug Hutchinson, the other cop. Yeah, this guy talking, the cop without the mustache, that was the guy who was Toombs on the X-Files. He was in 2 episodes, Squeeze and Toombs. He was also the bad guy, was it Bait, I think, with Jamie Foxx? So he's very, very observant. Told all the details of Glenn Plummer's place. Okay, so this is the next day. Ah, damn. So obviously there must have been a shootout. Well, I mean, can't say it's hard. It's hard to feel bad for a guy that tried to suffocate this lady in the damn mattress. Some good camera shots. I will say some really good camera shots throughout this picture. I think this is one of the director's first films, so obviously he wanted to really impress fresh out of the gate. Maybe someone saw this or something else he did, and that's how he got Disturbia. Because again, this film did not do well at all when it came out. But yeah, I will say so far it is definitely a well-directed movie. Not my. I mean, I'm only 17 minutes in, but not my. Like I said, I remember not minding the film. I still feel that way. Is that Black Sabbath shirt he has on? I think it is. Yes, she don't want help. So that's Deborah Tara Under, I think is her name. I remember she was in The Game with Michael Douglas, which I love. The Game. It's my favorite David Fincher film. And then she was also in that crappy Silent Hill movie. Well, they're both crappy in my opinion, but the first one she was in. I think she played Dahlia Gillespie. That's a whole other thing. But how come you don't like that movie? I could go on a 20-minute tangent on why. Good looking, but there's others. And they use the music, but there's others. Anyway. Damn, what is that one fingernail? Is that... Oh, wait, I don't think... Maybe it was a fake because I saw his hands. I didn't see the fingernail there anymore. Yeah. Well, okay, sometimes I think I'm seeing it. Sometimes it's like I'm not seeing it. I don't know. Trying to catch it to see if it's consistently there. I would never want those long fingernails. I'd be just afraid they just break like that. I don't know how women do it. Like one want to move it. So his old identity. Yeah, isn't he like undercover or something? So that's his old wife, old life. I don't know if you should be playing the trumpet. I'm sure people be pissed off with the noise, especially late at night. Banging, shut that shit off. We got ghosts in this movie too. I'm sure in the beginning of this we're supposed to be somewhat confused because it'll be revealed later as to what's fully going on. So I guess I should mention, as they're doing this lovey-dovey stuff, Val Kilmer, of course, Sally passed away. Not at this point, like a month ago or so. I mean, it's a shame. Val Kilmer, one of those actors where he did films I've enjoyed, performances he gave I enjoyed. My favorite performance of his is as Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp. I'll be your Huckleberry. I love that performance. Great movie too. Also throughout, Real Genius was fun. Willow, he was really good in. Top Secret, that's a fun one. And there's some other ones. Thunderheart, I haven't seen that in a while, but I remember that being pretty good. Ghost of the Darkness, I remember not minding. Him as Batman was fine. I mean, I don't love Batman Forever, but he was fine. I think he was a better Bruce Wayne than Batman, but again, fine. I could deal with it. Better than George Clooney and such, but I'm trying to think. The Saint I hated. I thought that was a pretty awful film. Of course, Top Gun, Iceman, good film. It's one of those things where you just hear about how he was as a person on set, and just didn't seem like that great of a guy, to be honest. Countless stories of people having troubles with him on set, being difficult to work with. There's all those stories with the island of Dr. Moreau, where like cigarette ash, it's like something to do with a cigarette and messing with someone's either the hair by their ears or their ears itself, something like that, and just this weird, crappy behavior. Adam Marcus, who directed Jason Goes to Hell, he directed a film I think called Conspiracy, and he mentioned how Val Kilmer was the worst person he ever worked with because he made like an actress like cry and like seemed like ready to quit the business type of thing, and that seemed typical of Val Kilmer's behavior. I'm sure he mellowed and once he got sick and the diagnosis, but it's kind of like Bruce Willis, where you would hear like this repeated behavior. I'll listen to the dialogue. So in the plot, apparently someone he ratted out is out and going to want revenge on him, so the cops are telling him to disappear, go somewhere so you're more safe. But yeah, Val Kilmer, just like Bruce Willis, just seemed like it was a lot of behavior on sets that he just wasn't that great, that nice of a guy, so... Yeah, I mean... Which I don't support that kind of behavior, I really don't. So, I mean, I don't know. It's still sad, what happened to him. Still sad that he passed away. But I know there's difficulties like between him and I think Michael Douglas in Ghost in the Darkness. There's difficulties between him and Tom Sizemore in Red Planet. Obviously, there must have been some kind of... I remember maybe some difficulties on Batman Forever. Maybe. He went on to do The Saint, and of course they didn't have him back in Batman and Robin. How old is this damn kid? Looks like he's still in high school. The guy had a shitload of guns. Ah, Luis Guzman. Of course, Luis Guzman, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Dwayne Johnson's film Journey 2, sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Beverly Hills Cop XOF, Beverly Hills Cop 4. You've seen Luis Guzman in something. He's been in a ton of stuff. Throughout the years. Even like The Hard Way with James Woods. So I got, wait until it tapped. So I got to a crash because I was horny. There's a whole car chase with him and James Woods as cops chasing, and James Woods driving all crazy like and stuff. So he's at her grave. Is this the woman that we saw in the flashback? Perhaps? I don't know. We didn't get a look at the grave. Wow, BD Wan as like a cowboy. Interesting. BD Wan, most people remember from Jurassic Park. And then he came back for the Jurassic World movies. But he was one of the scientists in the first Jurassic Park. He's been in other films too, but that's what people remember him the most from. Yeah, so there's a visit D'Onofrio we're talking about because he mentioned there's someone with his nose. I do remember visit D'Onofrio with like a, I don't know if it's like fake nose or there's like his nose has been so destroyed by drugs. Something like that. Can I remember? So yeah, so okay, so Vincent D'Onofrio's character did so much stuff up his nose they had to cut it off. So he has a fake plastic nose. And they compared. Ah, there you go. There's the plastic nose. The hell? So they're doing a recreation of the JFK assassination with pigeons, with birds. I don't know if they're pigeons, but birds. What the fuck? Okay. I forgot about this. I don't know how the hell I forgot about it, but don't shoot the bird. I mean, you don't argue with a guy when no one knows. I don't know. I don't know if I want to argue with him. And it's Vincent D'Onofrio. Like, you don't want to argue with him to begin with. Vincent D'Onofrio was just a great actor, all in all. I mean, ever since Full Metal Jacket as Private Pile, how like he's so innocent to begin with, and you just see his transition to just this killing machine that is too far gone and kills Arlie Ermy and puts himself out of his misery. I like Full Metal Jacket. I like the second half, but I think his and Arlie Ermey's performances, those two, they carry the first half so much with such power that when you get into the second half, for a lot of people, it's hard to capture the power of that first half. But the second half I do enjoy, but again, that's a whole other thing. But of course, he was the Kingpin and the Daredevil TV show, which, especially season one, it was really good. I even liked him in Death Wish with Bruce Willis because he played a good guy. And I forget if he was the brother or brother-in-law to Bruce Willis's character. That's the film I need to rewatch. There's a lot of movies I want to rewatch. A lot of movies, but I do remember liking Death Wish with Eli Roth. And usually he plays the bad guy. Like when he was in Jurassic World, I'm sitting there going, "Yep, he's going to be the bad guy," and he was. The Cell, he's a great bad guy in that. I forget what TV show he was on. It's a popular TV show, and he was the lead in many years. I do like the fear that Val showcases. It seems genuine. Vincent D'Onofrio definitely knows how to sell crazy. This guy definitely has to be a hell of a tweaker to not know who the fuck JFK is. He's older than me and I knew who the fuck JFK was. God damn. Out of his mind. Definitely a lot of quirky stuff in this that I could see if this got a cult following as to why. There's a lot of little quirky moments. The whole bird JFK thing. Now they want to steal Bob Hope's stool sample or something. Then you have that guy in a wheelchair. Did walk on the wild side. Of course, I wonder how the hell you got in that corner in the first place. It's crazy. Yeah, only a tweaker would come up with a plan that stupid and shitty. Shit. So I guess if we never see Adam, I guess if we don't see him again, then we're led to assume that that stuff really did happen, and he really did run over by a fucking ambulance, and he's dog food on the road now. So if we never see him again, we now know what happened to him. Because I'm not sure if it's just like the movie showing us images and what could go wrong, or it's showing us this is what eventually does happen and how the reality is not nearly what he's describing, and then but yeah, if we never see him again, then we'll know the answer to that. That's the thing, though. Even if you stole that successfully, how would you be able to prove, yes, this is a stool sample, whatever the case would be? There'd be no way to prove it. At least on eBay or something. That definitely showcases how fucking out of it she is. I mean, I can't really blame BD1 that you'd want to. Another good performance by Val Kilmer's Tis Tis Bang Bang, Robert Downey Jr. That's definitely one of his best performances. That would be in my top 5. I did a video on my top 5 Val Kilmer performances. Tombstone, his performance in that was number 1. I think performances in Willow, Tis Tis Bang Bang, Real Genius. I forgot what else I put. Yeah, I forgot what else I put him in the top 5. And getting screwed over from all sides. So there's the paranoia of this guy who's out. They stitched on finding him and his men. You got dirty trip cops pressuring him. You got Vizinafio trying to make a deal with him. You got this whole thing with Deborah. Will they or won't they? I do like the location they shot here. Just this, like, looks like an empty parking lot or something. Just something about that just seems, these individuals are alone in this expansive environment, and just in a weird way makes them seem so isolated. So that's why. Oh, Arlie Ermy. Weirdly enough, speaking of fucking Full Metal Jacket, Arlie Ermy, I mean, of course, what more can be said about him? He was also great in Full Metal Jacket. He was, I mean, I reviewed The Siege at Firebase Gloria. That's a very good film. The Frighteners. He was kind of pigeonholed of being that type of character from Full Metal Jacket. But each time, even, he has that look, he has that voice. Even in comedies like Saving Silverman, he works well, and he just has that stature and that demeanor that you're able to focus on. So, oh shit, Danny Trejo, right there on the right. Which, I mean, y'all know who Danny Trejo is. Been a ton of stuff. From Dust Till Dawn, Machete, the early days being in, I forget what Steven Seagal film it was. I'm trying to remember what Steven Seagal film it was. It was, God, what was it? Was it Art for Death or Hard to Kill? God, I can't remember. It wasn't Out for Justice, not Above the Law. I mean, he was in a lot of early films back in the day. In small bit parts. Ugh. God. I know it's a special effect, but still, I wince at seeing that no nose thing. He's still doing drugs, putting in there. Yeah, I'd probably want to just take the bull in the head if instead of putting my damn pecker near a badger. I'd be like, just pull the trigger. Just pull the trigger right here. Just go for it. That's what you get for stealing the money, Danny Trejo. Yeah, I did. I mean, I could definitely see the appeal of this film. Now he's just hearing Danny Trejo stream. Maybe he saw Spy Kids 3 or those machete movies. That's why he's streaming. Making you nervous? You almost put my pecker near a badger. Yeah, Visit the Outfield was a hell of a trip of this movie. I'll say that. Definitely unique performance from him. I would assume Visit the Outfield probably said yes once he saw that the character had no nose and said, "Okay, that's an interesting. Like, there's something to grab onto for the character that this guy is so out of it that he has nose cut off, had to be cut off, and he still continues to do it." I remember there was something else, something about like the death of his wife or something. Like he wants revenge on it or something. So I don't know why I kept thinking like he was an undercover cop or something. I don't know why. Something about it. Maybe it's not a cop. Maybe it's just he wants revenge on the death of his wife. I can't remember. Okay. Interesting and trippy on the background. So it is a bit of a flashback. Perhaps gives a little bit of insight as what has happened here, what's going on. It's sorry again for the silences. Just be paying attention, listen to the dialogue and stuff. I mean, I would assume one of the many reasons. I mean, I don't know how much of a release this got. I do remember, like around this time, this film not getting any marketing at all, because I never knew this film existed until it got to the home video market. Now maybe there was a time where I was subscribed to this magazine called Cinescape, and so if you subscribe, you read about that kind of stuff. Movies like that could be featured in it. Okay, so we got People with heavy damn machine guns. Which wounded Val. Well, obviously we know it's not going to end well for her, so... Yep, that's going to break. Just don't create the noise. Yep. Oh, is that the two cops? That looked like Doug Hutchinson's face. That does look like his face. I bet these are the two cops. The two dirty cops. And so he's doing all this to get revenge on these cops and get them taken down. Because even though it's through a mask, I swear I could see the distinct faces of Doug Hutchinson. Well, I guess maybe he wouldn't know if they were cops because they had masks on. I'm sure we'll find out more later on. Or maybe he uses them. Like, okay, you think that they're using him, but he's been using them the whole time. I know these are the two guys that killed his love. I know it. I did really good shots in this. Good camera turn there, and just picking the right good spots for the backdrop, the background. Oh, BD1, is he an officer? And he's working undercover for him? FBI, okay. There you go. See, I did. It's been a while since I seen it, so I forgot about this. Oh, Rex Lynn. Rex Lynn from Cliffhanger and CSI Miami. We've established that he's good at observing stuff, so of course he observed this. Rex Lynn in Cliffhanger, he was the guy that was yelling at John Lithgow Quaylen, "You're a Section 8. I'm on my last official manhunt. Adios, motherfucker." Hmm. Hmm. And sorry, I just get into the story. Pretty good story. Pretty good, fairly well written story. So I guess that's why I was confused with the cops because the FBI thing. He's working with the FBI on that. So, and to be honest, I can't even remember when the last time I saw this film. But yeah, it does look a little bit like him. So, They do a nice job with the characters here, make them interesting enough. They have enough weird, quirky moments. And they have enough quirky moments that get you intrigued and give a little bit of a different flavor. And yeah, it looks like the whole thing, that heist, that stuff really did happen because, as we see, we have not seen those characters again. So more likely, that guy did get hit and ran over by a fucking ambulance and turned into dog food. So there you go. But in that, the whole JFK thing, the no-nos, that type of stuff. BD1 as a cowboy who's under... I mean... And the performances are pretty solid. I mean, I don't know if you needed the whole romance thing with him and Deborah Under. But I mean, it's not bad or anything. I don't know if every story needs to try to push a bit of romance in there. I think sometimes, I mean, it's not too bad in this, but there are movies where they try to push so much romantic stuff into it that it just... Okay, for example, Daylight. It's like they try to push a little romance between Stallone and the Amy Brenneman, but it's like, nah, you don't buy it, and you don't... So obviously we're getting to the third act here, when all the shit's going to hit the fan. Wonder how it's all going to come to be. Because we don't have the dirty cops, we don't have Vincent D'Onofrio's guys, the FBI. See how that all comes into play. But I was saying that with the why this film didn't do well at all. It did. I don't know what the release was like. It didn't seem like it had any marketing at all. Also, Val Kilmer, to be honest, he was never a big box office draw. I mean, if you think about his career, like Top Gun was a success. He's good in it, but it's not like the film was a hit because of Val Kilmer. Real Genius. I don't know how that did. Willow. I mean, it might have done okay, but it wasn't this blockbuster movie. That's why you didn't get sequels and such. I mean, you got a TV show way down the road, which they canceled after like one season because it was so shitty. Obviously, didn't do as well for them. Thus, no season 2 and etc. But I'm trying to think. Ghost in the Darkness, I don't think did that well. Red Planet was a bit bomb. It's not that good of a movie anyway, but it was a bit bomb. What was it? Batman Forever. I mean, that was a hit, but it wasn't because of Val Kilmer. It was because it was Batman. More often than not, they're going to be curious. They being the audience, going to be curious about another Batman, no matter who plays it. So, Batman Forever was a hit. But it wasn't because of Val Kilmer. Thunderheart I liked. I mean, I don't know if that didn't really do game busters or anything. Island of Dr. Moreau was a terrible movie, and that film didn't do well. So again, you kind of sit there and... the switcheroo. I mean, I would think he would still want the FBI as protection and stuff, but I guess for him, it's like you consumer revenge enough that you want to do the deed and kill them yourselves, or make sure that justice doesn't fail and they get a tap and a slap on the wrist or anything of the sort. So I'm sure he's hoping to kill these guys, have enough money, and just disappear with or without Deborah under. So there you go. We're getting to the big deal here with D'Onofrio and company. God, what kind of hair is that? Cornrows? I don't know. White guys don't wear cornrows that well, honestly. They really don't. Ah, that was a nice plan to have that gun there the whole time. Thank God no one checked it. Yeah, but can you get the gun out of there? Ooh. That's what you did, try to shoot him in the back. The fact that he shot himself and is on fire. More than likely he had a bulletproof vest. Obviously, because we saw him at the beginning on fire with the trumpet, so obviously that has to come into play. Up, Steve, man. It's just like the two guys, before. There you go. Let themselves, let them kill each other and then come in and sweep up, take the money and disappear. You got the money. I don't think you need the drugs anymore. Then I feel like a damn drugged up porky pig. Well, yeah, I think, I mean, you get shot in the leg, there'd definitely be some pain. A lot of times in movies, they kind of overlook that and act as if you got like a paper cut, but Okay, there you go. I was going to say, is Val still on the ground? This guy just can't help himself. There you go. Yep. I mean, again, we know he's not dead because the very beginning showed us him playing a trumpet while everything's on fire. So, in a way, that opening screwed things up because without that opening, you'd be like, whoa, what the hell? Is he dead? What's going on? But it's like, no, we know he's not dead because we saw the very first shot of the movie that, no, obviously that scene has to eventually happen. I mean, you could assume, nah, he's not going to be dead anyway because, you know, it's... Well, you can't assume that. There are movies that would gladly... I mean, To Live and Die in L.A., you know, other movies. But... That was definitely going to be painful. Oh, that was a good edit. It took me a minute to realize, oh shit, we're actually in a flashback. That was a good edit there. And that's why the dripping of the alcohol, he was mesmerized because made him remember the dripping of the blood here. That's what we saw there earlier, where he saw the alcohol dripping and why he was so focused on it. Just reminded him of that. Again, good. I like the music in this. Very good music too. Now, how's that for a lady? All the last words you could say, all the last things you could shoot out before you die, and the word she says is, "It's okay." Like, even when she's dying, the thing she wanted to do was to calm him down. Ooh, right in the face. Ooh, good. My question is, how many bullets are left in that gun? That's the question. Now as you don't want to do it, and it's going to be click, and there's nothing there. Good performance by Val. Up, watch it, watch it. Double bullets in it. I'm guessing there's no more bullets. Five, six, seven, eight. Yep, there you go. At least that did something different, because I always hate the cliche of the bad guy gets the gun, and of course how lucky it is that tries to shoot the good guy and there's no bullets left. At least that did something different where you count the bullets and all that stuff. At least it did something a little bit different with that, so at least that's something a bit more unique. Because I do hate that cliche. You know, there's all these bullets flying around, and then as soon as the bad guy gets the gun, oh, of course, how convenient, how lucky. We aren't that lucky in real life. So it's a cliche I hate in movies. But again, at least here, to repeat, they do something a little bit different with it, at least. I would finish them off, like make sure, double tap. In the head, in the head. I mean, more than likely they're dead, but you think, just double check. But definitely finished him off. The hell did this all come from? The hell did this all come from? Fuck this lady. I know I'm supposed to feel sorry for her, but fuck her. I thought this whole bit would be like him burning that place down, not this. Like, I thought this whole bit was like him burning that place down at the end and destroying all the bodies and stuff. I think you should take all the Deborah Under stuff out. I mean, with Louise Guzman. I recognize this piece of music. That's Moby. There's two other. I mean, there's other times, but there's two other times I remember this being used. At the end of Any Given Sunday, when they win the big game, and Jamie Foxx, Al Pacino are celebrating. But also, X-Files. When Mulder finds the ghost of his sister and kind of they hug and kind of they end that whole Mulder sister story, this music is used. So I guess the idea is that his buddy saved him. Hmm. So I'm assuming he has that money still? I don't know about that. I mean, I just read that ending. Frank Darabont produced this? Really? The guy who did Shawshank Redemption? I'm glad the character didn't die. It's nice to have a little bit of reminder of his buddy. It just feels like from the hospital to all of a sudden he's outside, it feels like there's a lot of stuff that is missing. Final words, moments between him and his buddy. I'm assuming he still got that money. And then he's going to create a new life. I just feel like there would be bits more between maybe him and his parents. I guess with the Deborah Under character, she's going to continue to get her shit kicked in by Louise Guzman, and he's like, fuck it, I'm not helping this lady anymore. So yeah, it feels like the whole there Deborah Under, it didn't really matter except him getting gut shot at the end, which... Like, honestly, it could have been him playing the music, the trumpet at the place as burning down, and then maybe he has a vision of his wife or a vision of something else, and he's like, screw it, I'll leave and just go on my merry way. I just think with this you could easily cut out the whole Deborah Under stuff and be fine, and it wouldn't affect the plot, the story much. If I think it'd be more streamlined, and I think it should have ended at that place of Vizinafrio and the cops, and it didn't burn the place down playing the trumpet. They brought with him on his motorcycle, and then he's like, nah, screw it, I'm gonna leave. I didn't either seeing his wife or something like that. I like this song too. This song's not bad. But that was a good movie. That's a good film. Definitely a good film. Definitely one of the better Val Kilmer movies. Acting was solid. Has enough quirky moments, like I mentioned, the JFK assassination with birds, or the heist for Bob Hope's stool, and with the guy getting run over. So obviously that did happen because you never saw those characters again. All that stuff. So the finale I didn't mind. Even the count of the bullets, and then you see inside the barrel and the guy. I'm like, I remember he said 8, so. But, you know, the guy's like, did he say 8 or did he say 9 bullets? There's enough of that stuff to make it at least a bit more unique. Some good looking shots, camera work. Vincent D'Onofrio, very trippy in his performance. Val did a good job. Sarsgaard, he did a good job as well as the buddy. Very loyal. Obviously assuming that he saw his friend and helped him out and stuff. Obviously gave up on Deborah Under, didn't go back to help or see her, because I guess, like, fuck it, you know. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Oh, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That type of thing. Overall, yeah, that's a good film, The Salton Sea. I did like it. I did little issues here and there. I thought the ending a little bit more, could have been done with it, but other than that, pretty good. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again to Ben, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.